Getting into this hobby can be extremely overwhelming. Niche, designer, clones inspired by his twists. Where the hell do we start? Let's talk about 10 niche fragrances, the only 10 you really need.
Here's some codes to save you some cash on your next Middle Eastern niche or designer fragrances.
What's going on, guys? My name is Neeb. Welcome back to AROMATIX. Today we're gonna do 10 niche fragrances, the only 10 that you need. We're gonna keep into mind and consideration of like seasons and signature scents and just staples in every man's collection. So a lot of you guys that are enthusiasts and things of that nature, forgive me because a lot of these are going to be slightly basic to a lot of people's taste. However, in my opinion, they are far from basics and they are staples for a reason. That's going to lead me to start with the very first one, and it's Parfums de Marly Layton. If you are a collector that just started your collection and you're looking for niche, you must have this. This is one that you can honestly signature scent. I've rocked this in every single season, even during the summertime. Granted, it wasn't anything high heat, but I got away with this and I got so many compliments. Apple pie and spice and everything nice. This one, yeah, this is a must-have. A very signature men's niche fragrance that I think every man should own in their collection. Parfums de Marly is like that fragrance brand that's kind of the gap in between niche and designer. And for that reason, this is perfect. You're just starting out, or even if you're not just starting out, the facts are the facts. It smells amazing. The next fragrance we're going to be talking about is from Arabian Oud. Yes, this is one of the only 10 you need because of its versatility, its mass appeal, and the amount of sheer compliments that I've gotten with this fragrance. And this is Arabian Oud's Arabian Night Silver. This smells like ambroxan, peppers, a little bit of sweet vanilla. It's just everything that any man could need in his arsenal. Peppery ambroxan, slightly sweet vanilla. It smells like a Frankenstein of Versace Dylan Blue mixed with some Parfums de Marly Layton vibes. Much lighter than something like this, and for that reason, the versatility of this one is even more. So basically, you can rock this one any season or any time that you can't get away with rocking Parfums de Marly Layton. For around 150 bucks, that's a good deal. I wouldn't really spend any more than this, but nevertheless, a niche fragrance for around 150 bucks, that's also another factor that makes this one of the only ones that you absolutely need. Since we're on that note of Arabian fragrances, this is another one that every man needs in his collection, one of the only ones that you need in your collection. And this is strong, it's spicy, it's also sweet. It's got date night written all over it. You can also signature scent this one, but I wouldn't recommend wearing this one in the higher heat as well. And this is Nero's Sedra. Nero's Sedra Perfumes. I mean, it's amazing. You get such a good value for this fragrance because of the fact that you get this jumbo 200 ml or 150 ml juice for like 140 bucks. It's like a no-brainer. If you think of fragrances like the Most Wanted EDP or Stronger With You, but you niche it up a little bit, add more spices, and just beast mode, just steroid inject this bad boy, this is what you end up with. Super sexy, refined. Not only is the fragrance itself a conversation starter, but so is the bottle. One of the best in terms of 2023 pickups, actually for like 2 years since 2022. One of the best ones for sure. Just checks off so many boxes that this makes this one of the top 10 niche fragrances in my collection. Another fragrance from Parfums de Marly. They kill it, man. They really do kill it. And they kill it in terms of filling in that gap. So mass appeal, a lot of mass appeal actually. And that's why it satisfies a lot of people. It caters to some of the niche snobs and it caters to a lot of the designer heads. And this is a tobacco-based fragrance, one of my favorite tobacco-based fragrances. It's just easy. It's tobacco, it's vanilla, it's sweet, it's everything nice. Super sexy fragrance, and it's Parfums de Marly Herod. You need this fragrance if you're thinking about starting a niche collection and you enjoy tobacco fragrances. If you don't enjoy tobacco fragrances, earthy fragrances with vanilla, then you're probably not going to enjoy this. But for me personally, this is one of those fragrances that every man needs in his collection. You're going on a date, you don't really want anything too spicy or anything that's going to be too noticed like Parfums de Marly Layton or Arabian Oud, then you can go with this one. This one you do have to reserve for more colder weather climates, unlike the Arabian Night Silver. This one will shine more so during the winter time. Beautiful fragrance though, nevertheless, and the fall time as well. We'll take it now to the slightly fresher side of things, and I say slightly fresher because it does have this musk aura. It also has some peppers, some citruses, bergamot, ISO E Super vibes. ISO E Super just feels like this aura of cleanliness, kind of like a dry woods and musk vibe. You're gonna smell clean, but this one does it in the most opulent way because of some of those peppers and some of those citruses. This is refinement to the max, and it is a little bit pricey, but it is one that I deem a fragrance that every man should have in their niche collection. This is Arabian Oud Amiri. Arabian Oud Amiri's scent profile is the easiest to like of them all. I'm not going to say that it's an easy scent profile. It is relatively simple. However, the way that they execute it, like many other Arabian Oud fragrances, is like top notch. Just like Arabian Night Silver, when you smell it, it's ambroxan, it's citruses and peppers. This one does it in a much different way than Arabian Night Silver, but the way they do what they do is to the max. So Arabian Oud Amiri is definitely one that you need in your collection. Now I'm going to take us into the fruitier realm of fragrances. However, this is still pretty masculine. This is fruity, it's creamy, but it's also slightly aromatic and spicy. Multifaceted, you get bang for buck with these types of fragrances. You're not really going to hear much about these. These are Kuwaiti-based fragrances from the UAE, from the Middle East, basically. And that's exactly why I love talking about a lot of these fragrances. So let's talk about this one, which is also from Sedra Perfumes. And this is called Capri. It's got just this it's like pretty much a fruit milkshake, if you will. It's not too milky, but it's creamy. It's much more of like this vanilla, musk, and like apple or mango vibes. There isn't the note of mango, but to my nose, I get like this mango lassi or mango milkshake that's slightly spiced in every good way. So while it does have the milkshake characteristics and qualities and traits, it's not really milky. It does have a lactonic vibe that makes it creamy without being on the milk side of things. Did I say milk enough? Musky, powdery, creamy apple fruits, some aromatics and spices. And also, performance? You spray this on clothes, man. It's not going until you wash it, period. Capri is definitely my favorite one out of the entire Cedras, the ones that look like this. But don't let that take you away from checking out the other ones because they're fire. This one, though, definitely one that I find a lot of men should have in their collection. Despite the fact that I believe a lot of men should have it in their collection, you do have to enjoy fruit type of fragrances. So just because I came on here and said that this is the only one of the 10 that you need in your collection, if I mention something you don't like fruits, you don't like creamy, then you won't like this one. So you have to ultimately make your decision at the end of the day. These are just recommendations, but these are the 10 that I would personally keep in my collection. Number 7 on this list is going to be a fragrance that revolves itself around those fabric softener vibes as well. You're going somewhere upscale, you just want to smell clean, but you want to do it in the every best way. It's another Arabian Oud fragrance, except this is part of the Arabian Blend series. Super high quality stuff, a little bit pricey, but you get every bit of that price that you're going to spend on this fragrance. And this is called Arabian Blends Jabal Cotton, or Jabal Cotton, or Jabal Cotton. This basically smells like exactly that. Jabal Cotton basically means the mountain of cotton, and it smells, yeah, pretty much like that. It smells like lavender, some cardamom spice, some creamy, buttery iris, extremely refined, with some ambers and some base sweetness at the base of this fragrance. Smells like fabric softener vibes, except in a very creamy way. Think of going to Dubai in some of the finest hotels. You get your shirts dry cleaned and pressed at the hotel itself. It comes back, it smells like this. That's exactly what this one smells like. Think of Dior Homme, the pre-reformulated 2020, that lipstick buttery iris. It's basically in this bottle, and it's super long-lasting. For this scent profile to be done in this way is honestly pretty surprising. It does have some cedar nuances in here, which is that bright, brittle woods, along with that whole lavender and buttery iris vibe, with a base sweetness, of course. A great fragrance, and for me personally, a 10 out of 10. So if you enjoy those types of vibes, this is one of the 10 that you need in your collection. So with a lot of these niche, fresh fragrances, they're not going to be your typical freshies. That's just citruses, aquatic, maybe a little bit of peppers, and just basic or something very simple. They're going to have more nuances. It's going to be something with some sweetness or much fruitier. Whatever they do, it's going to stand out a lot. And that's exactly the case with this next freshie that I'm going to recommend. And I'm recommending this for those that enjoy also fruity fragrances, but they don't want it done in the same way that I mentioned Capri to have, with the whole lactonic and creamy vibe. You want something that's fruity, that's kind of like Herba Pura vibes, but better. And this is from Arabian Oud, and it's called Solid Black. You heard me right. This is a more masculine version of Xerjoff's Herba Pura. If you like Herba Pura, or you find it to be slightly too synthetic or screechy, this takes all of the bad parts away. It's fresh, it's bright, it's citruses, it's fruits. It's not just citruses, it's a melody. It's a fruit basket, basically, with some slight peppers, a little bit of sweetness. It doesn't go towards the Kirke vibes type of things. It really does its own thing. But if you just think of fragrances like Herba Pura, make it better, and you end up with basically this, Solid Black. Perfect for those of you that live in the South, or you're going on a tropical island vacation, or something that just screams fruits. This is going to be the one, Solid Black. It also lasts a hell of a long time as well. I really wanted to recommend this one as a freshie as well. We're just going to make this one an honorable mention just because of the fact that there are better, longer lasting fragrances. And me personally, I like to bring something new to every video, every list. And if I were to just say, oh, you need Elysium, which I genuinely believe this is one of those where every man should have in their collection, it just doesn't last that long. And there are a lot of these fragrances which will literally last 3 times as long as this. Nevertheless, this smells so damn good. So if you're thinking about Elysium, I would say green light. I love this thing. I hardly ever wear it anymore just because I want something that I could actually smell. But this smells really good. 4 to 6 hours of longevity. If you don't mind, overspraying or spraying it again, then you're not going to have a problem with this one. This one does shift and transition a lot. So a lot of people think it's gone by like hour 4, but really the scent profile just changes significantly into more ambergris, leather, and vanilla. The citruses kind of drop off. A lot of those aromatics drop off. And people stop detecting what they thought was the fragrance. I think that every man should at least get their nose on this one, and if you really enjoy it, then go for it. And for that reason, it's going to be an honorable mention. Next fragrance I think every man should try and own in their collection is going to be Xerjoff Naxos. This is another fragrance that's mentioned a lot in the community, but for very good reason. It's a tobacco and honey-based fragrance. The versatility of this one is a little bit different than some of the other tobacco fragrances where it's only cold weather only. This one is more spring and fall times. You might be able to get away with this during the summer nights where it's cooler, but definitely no high heat with this one. It smells like blonde honey and tobacco. Blonde honey and blonde tobacco, basically what it is. Spring and fall vibes all day, super refined. It's just as simple as that. It's a great tobacco and honey-based fragrance that's actually pretty light. It's not light in terms of the way that it performs, but it's light in the scent profile itself. So it's a light tobacco and honey-based fragrance. Xerjoff Naxos, Kilian's Black Phantom. This is going to come with a warning sign, or a disclaimer rather. Sample this first because it's not for everybody. But this covers sex nights. This covers, yes, I said sex nights. Sexy date nights. It's dark chocolate and booze, man. It's definitely not for appealing or pleasing the masses. But for me personally, I love this fragrance. And I signature scent this whenever it's cooler weather. I rock this bad boy. So sexy, dark chocolate, booze, smells like an old library vibes, but done in a very sexy way. I know that probably doesn't sound the best, but it's so freaking good. Boozy, dark chocolate. That's all I have to say about this one, but it does it in the best way. Next on this list is going to be spun sugar, pineapple, and some white florals. In my opinion, it's lightly feminine, but not nearly enough to keep me away from it. I rock this one, and I think this one's amazing. It's Kajal Lamar. This is pineapple and spun sugar. Can easily be a signature scent. You can wear this in the multitude of different climates. I don't know if it'll fare well too much in the winter time, but it does have a pretty good amount of strength, at least on me. The least that I've gotten in terms of performance with this fragrance is like 7 to 8 hours. That is the least, but nevertheless, I have gotten many wears where I've gotten like 8 to 10 hours out of this fragrance. Spun sugar, pineapple, and some florals. I'm always discovering new fragrances, so it's very likely that this will change in the next and up and coming months. I mean, hell, half of these Arabian Oud fragrances I haven't even tried yet. Yeah, there are only so many days in the year and I have to test a lot of fragrances. And since I test almost everything, niche, Middle Eastern, inspired bys, clones, cheapies, designers, yeah, you can imagine how little time there is. This was honestly fun making, and I love discovering new fragrances, and if you like discovering new fragrances, then you're rocking with the right one. Before I end this video, however, I do want to make a last honorable mention. The reason why I want to mention this one is because I have done comparisons on my channel, and if you go and search up this fragrance right here, Amiri, you're going to come across the other review that I made about Arabian Oud's Diwan. So I might as well address that here. So Diwan and Amiri have some similarities, and the reason why I didn't pick Diwan is because the overall mass appeal and complement factor with Amiri is a little bit better, in my opinion. This does last a little bit longer. The scent profile with these are relatively similar. However, this one does it in a more effervescent and carbonated way, and for that reason, it's more attention-grabbing. This one just lasts longer. It has the whole Isoy Super Cashmere and Musk vibe. This one also has that, but also adds the citruses, some of those peppers, and for that reason, versatility as well as complement factor is higher with Amiri. If you're more into musks, less peppers, Diwan might be the one for you, but for this list, we're going to keep it to Amiri, and for the complement factors, it's going to be Amiri as well. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Let me know down in the comments your favorite niche fragrance, and while you're down there, make sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and until the next video, peace.